children's films and content are being influenced by an extremely dark agenda. It's not only Disney, it's not only Pixar, but Amazon Prime has now joined the movement, and the first episode begins like this. Welcome, Remnants, to the Remnant. Here we expose the enemy, unpack healing and deliverance with the intention of building and equipping you. So go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button plus the bell notification. That way, every time we make an upload, you get notified. Also, why not become a part of the Remnant movement by becoming a member? All you need to do is visit theremnant.uk/memberships and sign up for the Remnant or the Remnant Plus membership, which will allow us to keep you updated on Remnant releases, upcoming events and courses, and if there is any time in the future for whatever reason we may get deplatformed, we have a way to stay in contact with you. Now, you know that there's been a really sinister and strategic attack on our children. And as I've mentioned before, through large entertainment companies such as Disney, over the years, we've become desensitized to the dark agenda of Satan hidden behind the colorful masks of cartoons. Disney stealthily has propagated, in my opinion, the destabilization of the family unit by always ensuring that one of the parents is removed from the picture. And this was often executed by bringing around circumstances that would lead to their death. It also promotes witchcraft, sorcery, spells, and curses, typically by the story's antagonist, but not limited to, as this feature has extended to the hero of the story, the character who we all want to see win. Now, I can't sit here and pretend that, as a child, I've never sat down and enjoyed all of these cartoon films, because like everyone else, I have. I've had my favorite films and my favorite characters. And it's only as I've matured and I've had to walk down the path of, healing and deliverance, shutting all the open doors that the enemy has had rights to attack me through, where I've begun to notice that I've noticed the overarching agenda of the kingdom of darkness. Now, I'm also a film buff. I love films. So I understand that in order to represent brilliance of light in the film, there has to be a true presence of darkness. Otherwise, you're just left with a pretty flat film. And in my personal opinion, unfortunately, this is where the Christian film industry has dangled over the years. Because there was nothing challenging or dark enough for the protagonist to overcome. That being said, I do believe that in recent years, that's been slowly changing with the likes of productions like Chosen, Sound of Freedom. They did a great job, I think, because that was a really dark topic. And I feel like if it was done by Hollywood, I feel like it would have been more vulgar. There would have been more cursing. There would have been more, I think they would have shown a lot of the abuse. Whereas Sound of Freedom, they kind of left it up to your imagination, but still implied that there was, there was some dark stuff that was really going on. So, in regards to, showing that darkness, I feel like Sound of Freedom did a really good job with that. And there's been other productions, Christian productions that are just high quality that are really coming out. And Jesus Revolution is another one that's just, recently been released. But regarding like old Disney, let's just say, let's say that we take it with a pinch of salt by saying, even though they displayed evil, they showed that good always prevails, and no matter how dark the film intrinsically is, it promoted good family morals. to be honest, like I'm kind of split in just saying that, because like, how far do you really go? How dark do we permit? Because even in the old Disney, you have movies like The Sorcerer's Apprentice and, you know, The Sword in the Stone, and it's blatant wizardry, and the protagonists are wizards, they become wizards or are participants in the craft. So it's difficult to really say that they promote good morals. But maybe we could say a select few of them have. Like, there's a film called Up, which I really enjoy, which shows it, you know, within like 12 minutes the lifespan of a young man that meets his wife, and that they have a life together, and then eventually he loses his wife, and then he has to, you know, deal with that. And there's a young boy that joins his life, or interrupts his life, and he has to kind of heal from the loss of his wife by going on an adventure, because you know, he believes that that's what she'd want to do. So I feel like when I watched that film, I was like, you know, that's a good film, that's a good premise. The darkness isn't too dark, but I would say that it has good morals that both grown-ups and young people can learn from. Now, in recent years, though, we've seen a continuation of films coming out of, you know, things like Disney, companies like Disney, which include water spirits, access to the realms of the dead, ancestral worship, even the indoctrination from the alphabet community by introducing gay parents and characters into the films, and false transgender theology. You know, with Disney films, like that would be like Soul. That was just false. I had to turn it off because I just couldn't entertain. I couldn't entertain the message of the film, because it was also. I'm not going to go into it. Maybe I'll make another one. If you want to see me deconstruct Soul, just write in the comment below, and I'll do one on the film Soul. But the head of Disney even went so far to share her intents and future endeavors for including more of these characters into Disney's future releases. Now, people might tell me, Theon, you're being extra again, but talk to anyone that's been in deliverance ministry. We see these spirits. We cast out these spirits. We break assignments from these spirits, from the spirit of death, powers from the grave, powers and spirits from the waters, god and goddesses, witchcraft programming, dead human spirits. I fight witches all the time, you know. So when we look at these films and movies, we're not just looking through the same lens as most people, because most people haven't dealt with these spirits, even though they themselves might be under the influence of those spirits. You know, they're not dealing with the spirit the same way that we are. But let's move on, because my intention wasn't to be covering Disney, but I just wanted to use it as a foundation to highlight how children's films and content are being influenced by an extremely dark agenda. Because now, it's not only Disney, it's not only Pixar, but Amazon Prime has now joined the movement, and the first episode begins like this. Let's watch. I'm gonna pull it up now.
Once upon a time, there was a glowing city protected by golden gates, known as heaven. It was ruled by beings of pure light, angels that worshipped good and shielded all from evil. Lucifer was one of these angels. He was a dreamer with fantastical ideas for all of creation, but he was seen as a troublemaker by the elders of heaven, for they felt his way of thinking was dangerous to the order of their world. So he watched as the angels began to expand the universe in their ways. From the dust of earth, they created Adam and Lilith, equals as the first of mankind. But despite this, Adam demanded control, and Lilith refused to submit to his will. She fled the garden. Drawn in by her fierce independence, Lucifer found her, and the two rebellious dreamers fell deeply in love. Together, They wished to share the magic of free will with humanity, offering the fruit of knowledge to Adam's new bride, Eve, who gladly accepted. But this gift came with a curse, for with this single act of disobedience, evil finally found its way into earth. With it, a new realm of darkness and sin, and the order heaven had worked to maintain was shattered. As punishment for their reckless act, heaven cast Lucifer and his love into the dark pit he had created, never allowing him to see the good that came from humanity. Only the cruel and the wicked. Ashamed, Lucifer lost his will to dream. But Lilith thrived, empowering demonkind with her voice and her songs, and as the numbers of hell grew, so did its power. Threatened by this, heaven made a truly heartless decision that every year they would send down an army, an extermination, to ensure hell and its sinners could never rise against them. But Lilith's hope remained, and her dream was passed down to their precious daughter, the Princess of Hell.
Really?
Don't worry, Mom. I'll make you proud.
Wow. Listen, let's pause it there. This is why we need to be attentive in what we allow our children to watch, especially when they're alone without any education or input from us, their parents. This is high level programming and an utter lie from hell. This is aimed to tarnish the minds of our youth, to lead them away from God and ultimately embrace the Antichrist agenda. This is New Age spirituality, and this story is the exact lie that Satan tells himself and others to justify why he's in the position that he's in now. They use this lie in Freemasonry and Kabbalah, that Satan is the true architect and God is the evil one, that God is the real evil dictator, and it was Lucifer's goal to save humanity, and in doing so, God banished him. Total lie. The truth is that Satan thought that he could rise above God, and he got demoted really quickly, and you can read that in Isaiah 14. Jesus also said, I beheld Satan fall like lightning. This, what we just watched, is indoctrination. Let's even quickly examine the character of Lilith. Her myth is based on Babylonian and Jewish mysticism, and it was said that she was Adam's first wife, which is also a lie. Satan is forcing his thoughts and agenda through entertainment on a new generation that doesn't know their left hand from their right hand because of all the brainwashing from our modern culture. Believing that everything is simply entertainment couldn't be further from the truth. You know, by God's grace, and only by his grace, I've had the opportunity to help people who have been oppressed by the spirit of Lilith. Yep. This spirit is abusive. It works within witchcraft. It's hateful. The lies. And can I be honest? If you've been sexually abused, it's likely that the spirit of Lilith is in operation. She works closely with the spirit of Jezebel. You know, I just have to be boldly honest because this is a bold lie. Lilith is a devil. She's a demon. Plain and simple. And Remnant, we need to be alert because the enemy is targeting the masses, including the children, through entertainment. But God says, when the enemy comes in like a flood, the Holy Spirit will lift up a standard. And this is why we need Christian films, Christian platforms, Christian series, and spirit-filled creatives to hold up a true standard and be leading the way in this space. I just wanted to keep you all in the know and to help shed light on what's really going on in the world, because unfortunately, some of us don't know what's going on outside the four walls of church. We don't understand the extremities of the times that we're living in. We are called to watch and pray, not just to pray. Let's be alert, cover your children, be watchful, and like, subscribe, and share this video. Until next time, Remnant out. God bless.